Hello and welcome back. In this video, so part 2 of the cube puzzle series, we will be creating the other 4 parts along with the other 4 drawings. And then in the final final video of the series, we're going to be actually assembling the cube. And if you want to try to do it on your own when we're at that point, it's a little bit of a brain teaser. And if you were able to 3D print them, it's actually really fun to try to put it together first, which I showed you I think in the first video in like a really weird sloppy way with a tiny with a tiny video in the corner. But yeah, if you wanted to give it a shot, it's pretty fun and rewarding if you actually get it. So again, in this video, we're going to be 3D modeling the other 4 parts to this cube, and then we'll go from there. So first thing I want to do, which I didn't do before, was actually rename these little tabs down here on the bottom. So the Part Studio, I'm actually going to rename it to Cube Puzzle Parts. And again, this is just a good habit to get into, organizing your files, organizing your tabs, because a lot of these documents are shared to other people, and when you're in a big company and things don't have names that correspond with projects, then they're going to be like, well, what the heck are you doing? You can't just name things like your name, because I mean, in school that's fine for the teacher, right? Just put it as your name. But in the real world, you want to have some like real naming conventions. So the drawing will be cube on cuboid drawing. And then I'm going to rename to assembly 1 to cube puzzle assembly. And we're good. So what we're going to do now is create another part. And we're going to go to this part, and it's a T. It's a T. It's a 3D T. Can't really add to that one. So to get there, right? We don't want this cube on cuboid to be in our way, right? The nice thing about Onshape is that you can contain all your parts in one Part Studio, and then pull from them. So that's a nice feature. We're going to click on Hide Cube on Cuboid. So click that eyeball right underneath Parts, and then it hides it for you. So now we're going to create this T, and we're going to do it a similar way. We're going to create a sketch, and we're going to click on the front plane. So again, I can click on this front view cube over here, or click N. So N is short for normal to, and normal to just means like you're viewing something at a 90-degree angle, right? You're viewing it right normal to it. So now we're going to create a line. So up here where it says line, click on that, click on the middle, and then we're just going to start making a T. And notice how these snaps, right? Notice these snaps. I want them because I'm making square objects. So I want to be vertical, horizontal. I don't want to be diagonal or at an angle. Okay, so I'm taking advantage of these snaps, as they call them. And then when I come down here, I want to be at the same height as this point. So I'm going to come over to that point, and then it's going to snap vertically. And then I'm going to continue it, and then go down. And I'm moving to the snaps. All right. From here, I'm going to dimension. And again, like I said before, we are dimensioning them to this actual size. Okay, so D for dimension. I'm going to click on this side here, and this side is going to be 0.3. And notice how everything goes, shrinks down, right? Another nice feature with Onshape, it scales the drawing automatically for you when there hasn't been a dimension placed in. Click on this side. This is going to be 0.6. This is going to be 0.3. This is going to be 0.3. Okay, so these are two different segments, which is fine. I'm not going to dimension them. I'm going to dimension from this side to this side. And notice it gives me the overall length, and that's going to be 0.9. And then, what do I have here? I need to identify something else. And I don't think I do. Okay, I think what's happening is the origin isn't at play anymore. So I'm going to click on coincide, which is up here, or I key is the hotkey for that. Click on this corner, click on the origin, and then it moves over your whole drawing. So let me go over that again. Okay, so if you're here, right, and you have all of these dimensioned out, right, there's nothing more I need to tell the program. If I were to actually go in and try to dimension this, it's going to be grayed out because I'm giving it too much information. It doesn't need this information. My geometry, the square, the 90 degrees and everything, and the knowledge that they're on the same lines, I don't need that. So what I do need is to tell this shape where it is in space, because right now it's just a shape in space. So I'm going to click on coincident or coincide, or hit the I hotkey. I'm going to click on this corner here, and I'm going to click on the origin. Okay, and you have your blacked out. So this means it's fully defined. When it's all blacked out, it's fully defined. I can move forward. I'm going to hit on extrude. And I'm going to extrude this one out 0.3. Green check mark. Looks good. Now I'm going to, actually, it is a silver part. So I'm going to keep that silver. I'm not going to change the color of it. I'm going to right click and rename, and just going to rename it a T-block. T-block. And I'm going to come down. So now that this is all set, right? I have my second part here made. I'm going to click on this plus sign and create a drawing for it. So I'm going to create another ANSI, right? American National Standard of Instruments, A size. click on my T block, and it makes it a 2-to-1. Because it is a little bit bigger than that last one we did. I could make it 3-to-1 though, potentially. Yeah, we'll make it 3-to-1. Keep it uniform. So I just dragged up the top, and again, I'm on that project tool. So I'm going to click again, and it's projecting the view. It's projecting the view. I'm going to project that view. Oop. And don't panic. If you remember, that tool is still on. If you click on something else, and then it's just going to keep projecting, right? So you need to hit escape to get out of that projecting tool. And now you can go ahead and move things around. All right, so D for dimension. I'm just going to come over here, dimension, dimension that side. And I'm actually, what I want is, I'm going to get the overall down here. It's 0.9. And then this side, 0.6. Again, we're not gonna put in all the geometric dimensioning and tolerancing. This is a beginner video, so we're just doing basics. Then we'll do a height. So from that point to that point. So that looks pretty good. And exit out of the dimension. And up top here, and name it T block. Or let's check first. Let's check first. What did I? Okay, cube puzzle. I did cube puzzle. Cuboid on cube. So yeah, let's keep it consistent. So the first heading should be cube puzzle. And these can be kind of awkward to click into. Yeah, the text isn't that great on here. So this is T block. Just take your time. See, it is awkward. All right. And then again, this is what we're putting in. If you're somewhere else, if you're using this somewhere else, put in whatever your teacher asks you to put in. BP CAD CAM exploratory. And this is drawing number 2. And again, the material is going to be PLA. All right, very good. I'm going to right click and rename T block. And again, you can come in and show the shaded view if you want. Makes it look a little more realer. I don't know if that's a word. So then go to cube puzzle, back to cube puzzle, and we're going to hide this, and we're going to move on to our third piece of the puzzle here. And this is the third piece. This kind of looks like a deep L. right? Kind of like the cuboid, except it doesn't cut. There isn't just a small cube on top. All right, so easy enough. We're gonna start a sketch, go to the front, and then we're gonna click front over here, and then L for a line, and then again we're gonna start at the origin here, right? Because this is defining where it is in space. Move up. Again, using your snaps. Use your snaps to move down, over, down. All right, you should be getting pretty good at this. So D, and then this is going to be 0.6. This is going to be 0.3. This is going to be 0.3. This is going to be 0.6. And then we're going to extrude it 0.6. And that part is done. This is a white block that we're working with. And again, I'm trying to use the same colors, so when my students get the actual parts to put together, they're the same on the computer. So right click on the part. We're going to rename this to Deepl. Okay. Right click on Deepl, and then we're going to edit appearance, and I'm going to give it the whitest thing I can do. It's like a gray, which is fine. All right, so we have our Deepl. We're going to create a drawing for that. Click on the plus, create drawing. Okay. Click on Deepl, and 3:1 looks good. Front. Again, remember, I'm in projection mode now. Projection mode. I'm still in projection mode. I gotta click though. Project over here. Projection mode still. Click. Bingo. Beautiful. Now I'm gonna click out of projection mode. And I'm gonna move the parent. So this is the parent. These are the children. So they move in respect to it. So if you change the parent, so what I'm talking about, right? See, 3:1 to parent, right? So it's gonna, if I change this, if I change the parent, so this is my parent because this is what I started with. If I change that to 1:1, they all change to 1:1. So it's a nice little feature, but we want them larger. Okay. Next thing is, you guessed it, dimensioning. D for dimension, 0.6, 0.6, 0.3, and then I can do that dimension up here. Oops. And try to keep them uniform. Try to keep them in the middle. Make them look nice. All right. So far, so good. All right. So that looks good. Again, we're just going to come on down to the title block. And put in cube puzzle. And deep L. BP CAD cam. Exploratory. This is drawing number 3. Materials, PLA, and we'll rename this to Deep L Drawing. And I didn't do it for the T block. I'm going to type in drawing. You can tell by the symbol, or you could put DWG for drawing. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you identify it. Cool. So 2 more to go here. Zoom out a little bit. All right. So these are the trickier ones. We got this 3D looking Tetris cube, and then we have the Lego marching legs, or I don't know what else that would look like. Weird L. Weird, yeah. Okay, so let's start with the Lego marching legs. All right. Start a sketch. Again, we're going to go into the front plane, hit N for normal to, L for line, jump on into the origin, move up, move to the right, move down, move to the right. We want to be at the origin, paying attention to where I'm snapping. D for dimension, and this one's going to be 0.9. This one's going to be 0.6, 0.3, don't need that one. Need this one. 0.3. And we are going to extrude this shape by 0.3. 0.3, because we just extruded this portion. Now we need to extrude the leg out, right? So we got that top leg, right? We got the top leg, the one that's kicking. Now we got to get the one that's standing. Okay. So we're going to create a sketch on the back side here, and N to normal, get normal to that. And then we're going to create a corner rectangle. Start from the bottom here, this corner, and go to that corner. Notice how it's fully defined because my object is fully defined. So when you're referring to an object that's fully defined, the sketch on it's going to be fully defined if you're referring to it. Kind of like that parent-child thing. Now we're going to extrude this by 0.6. Check mark. Now we're good. It looks like we're marching in the right direction. All right. Now we're going to right-click on that part, Gonna rename it to Lego legs. And then we are gonna right click it again and edit appearance, and these will be red because that's the color of the part. And then we're going to create a drawing. Click on Lego legs. Make it 3:1 to keep it consistent. And this is the longest piece. So it'll be, if we could have condensed it a little bit, but it's okay. Again, we're not looking for perfection in this project. All right. I'm going to dimension this out now. So D for dimension is waist, the kicking leg, same thing over here, just to show that it's uniform. And let's get that measurement there. All right, so that looks good. Looks good. Again, you can get the shade in there if you like, right, by right clicking, show shaded view. Again, it's up to you. Come on down here. We're going to name it a cube puzzle. And we are going to name this Lego legs. And we're going to name this one BP, BP CAD CAM Exploratory. This is the 4th drawing. One more to go. Rename the drawing to Lego legs drawing. Cool. All right, excellent job so far. If you've made it this far, great work. The next thing we are going to do, the last thing we are going to do, is this one, the green piece. So again, it's kind of like that L shape again, except on the top we're extending it out a little bit. Or if you look at it, it kind of looks like a funky 3D Tetris piece. So I'm just going to create that L again. That's the easiest way to do it. So sketch, front, click on front, L. Dimension this out to 0.9. 0.3, 0.6, 0.3, extrude. I'm going to extrude it by 0.3. And we got our L shape, and now we just got to extend a little cube on the top here. So I'm going to create a sketch on the back side again. N for normal 2. Corner rectangle, or G is the hotkey for corner rectangle. Go to that node, bring it down. Notice it is not fully defined yet because we need to give it, we didn't click on another node. We didn't click on it like another corner. So we're going to need the D for dimension. And we're going to dimension this out by 0.3. Now it's fully defined. Now I can extrude it. And this is going to go out by 0.3. I got my funky looking Tetris piece. Alright, now this is going to be green. So right click, edit appearance, green. Right click again, rename it. And what did we say? 3D Tetris? How about that? 3D Tetris. And now we're going to create a document again. Create a drawing. A size is what I want. And it should pop up here. 3D Tetris. Again, it's going to put me to 2:1. Now it automatically puts you at a scale that it thinks it would show up well. And it's usually right, but I just want it to be all uniform with the rest of your parts. That's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. Other than that, I don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing. Okay. Bring this over to the corner. And we're good. So that is a little awkward, but whatever. So am I. Okay. So now we're going to dimension out the part. So D. Bingo. 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 What is his name? Oh. Okay. Keep on going. Keep on trucking. You got this. That looks good enough. Good enough for what we're doing. All right. Again, right-click shade if you would like. Last bit of information. I don't know if I did this on the last one. I don't think I did. The material, right? It's PLA. For those of you who are 3D printing with PLA, let's see if I did forget. Why didn't you guys tell me? Because you can't. Because you're not present. I'm doing this in the past for the future. Okay. Double click up here. Cube puzzle. And 3D Tetris. Every time I get stumped on this one. BB CAD Cam. Forget where I am. And that's the 5th drawing. All right. Very good. Rename this to 3D Tetris. All right. If you have made it all the way through here, congratulations. Great work. We are going to assemble all of these parts in the following video, and hopefully you have these parts to kind of assemble in IRL, in real life, because I think it's more fun to do it in real life. It's way more challenging to do it virtually, but it will give you an appreciation for CAD designers and people who use this kind of software to design things and assemble them, right? If you think about an engine or a jet or a video game, right? It's way easier to solve something virtually. Easier meaning less expensive, right? You're not dealing with all these parts. So that's the reason behind it. So catch our next video. We'll be solving the cube. All right. Good job, and I'll see you shortly.